It is 10:25 in the morning. You're with Britain's Newsroom on GB News with Tom Harwood and me, Emily Carver.
Now let's get into a thorny topic. NIMBY is a term that stands for not in my backyard. We often think of this as to do with housing, stopping housing development, but it can mean so much more as well. There are NIMBY campaigns that stop nuclear power stations. There are NIMBY campaigns that stop pylons being built. There are NIMBY campaigns that stop railways being delivered as well, and interconnectors.
Yes, and that leads us on nicely to our story here. In Portsmouth, a group of NIMBY campaigners have mobilised their elected representatives, including local MP Penny Mordaunt, to campaign against the Aquind interconnector, which some argue would be the most effective way to decarbonise Britain.
But what is an interconnector, and why are some in the local community so opposed to having this built? Well, here with us is the Public Relations Counsel to the Aquind interconnector and anti-NIMBY campaigner, Johnny Stonborough. Johnny, thank you so much for joining us here in the studio. What is an interconnector?
An interconnector is just a cable, a thick cable that's going to come over from France and bring us unbelievable amounts of electricity.
And this particular interconnector would join Portsmouth
with France.
With France?
Yeah.
Anywhere in particular in France? Northern France?
Northern
presumably?
France, near Dieppe.
Okay.
And then it'll come in at Portsmouth when we get it built, and to a substation just behind Portsmouth.
And was it given the go-ahead and then NIMBYs got involved?
No, the NIMBY movement, and by the way, I think we're all NIMBYs up to a point. Nobody wants to have their house or whatever it is obstructed, or if they don't want a ditch in front of their house. I understand. And as you get older, odd enough, you become more NIMBY-ish.
Of course.
But that isn't really the point. The fact is that we have a small group of people in Portsmouth who are holding something up which is nationally important, very important. We need more electricity. We do not have enough electricity. Over the next 7 years, we have to treble the amount of electricity that's coming into this country or being made in this country from renewables. And we need to try everything. We've got to get started, and it's being held up.
What do you say to those who say that, yes, we need more energy in this country? That is very, very clear. But we need to generate it ourselves. We don't want to be importing it from foreign countries. We should be building the nuclear power stations here rather than using the French ones.
Yes, what if the French turned it off?
Well, I mean, it is a point that's made, but the fact is that even if we were to cover the land and the sea in propellers at the moment, we wouldn't have enough. There are also, and this is really important, there are also moments in the course of 24 hours where maybe there is no wind, and certainly at night you're not getting any solar. We have to bring what's called baseload into the country somehow. Now, we've switched off all the power stations, so where's it going to come from? And interconnectors actually perform that role. And every day we're importing around 15% from abroad.
Now, you said we need to treble our electricity in just 6 years. Is that due to the move towards electric vehicles, electrification of rail?
Absolutely. If we want to meet our net zero targets, 2030, 2050, these are two really, really important dates, that the whole country is being moved onto a totally different power base. I mean, it's an extraordinary endeavour and so important. Yes, we've got to get this interconnector built because it's ready to go. We're just waiting for the green light from the Secretary of State.
But there is a reason why the local MPs, both Labour and Conservative, are campaigning against this now. There is a group of concerned residents in Portsmouth who say they don't want a big trench dug through their lovely seafront. What do you say to them?
Temporary trench, yes. I mean, I absolutely get it. I know some of these people, Viola and Pam and Janet. They're known to me, and I absolutely respect their position. But
They're
the
all
fact
women.
they're not actually. There's a guy called Wilhelm as well.
Wilhelm doesn't want us buying continental electricity.
Anyway, but I mean, these people are serious about what they're saying, and they're supported by their two local MPs and indeed by the council and the local newspaper, and they've got this campaign going. I believe that they're wrong, and if you give me half an hour, I could tell you in detail why I think they're wrong.
Unfortunately, we don't have half an hour. But this really is a story of our time, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
When people want to construct something that might be useful to this country, there's always people, and usually quite a small group of people, who say, absolutely no way, not in my backyard. No, you can't have your interconnector that could deliver green electricity to our country.
Or I
It's no
suppose,
good.
because it's an interconnect, it goes both ways, we could also sell electricity back to the
Yeah.
French. We could make money from that.
Yeah.
There we go, money spinner.
But I suppose there are, whenever anyone wants to build, whether it's a cable or a power station, or even, dare I say it, a shale gas extraction plant, or even perhaps, I don't know, a migrant detention centre, nothing can be built because it's not in my backyard.
Well, if you're in Portsmouth,